I found this shirt, which I instantly fell in love with. I got this little mini lamp at Target. The fellowship application situation. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday. We are getting ready to run out to go grocery shopping, run some errands, various things. A shelf in our linen closet broke last night. It's been really hot here this week. And even with air conditioning, it's just hot, it's humid, it's hard to get the house down to a reasonable temperature because of the humidity. And I think that caused the shelf to slip because it looks like they had used wood glue previously. It's an antique that we repurchased from someone else when we moved into this house. Anyway, so we're getting ready to run out. Sam took Franny for a quick walk. We went to Goodwill yesterday. For me, there's nothing better than going to Goodwill in the summertime. It reminds me of when I was back in high school, my best friend and I would do that. We would go from like one Goodwill to the next, and there's just nothing better than that. So we went to Goodwill and I did find a couple of treasures. So I thought I would share those with you. The first is a book called The Treasures of Childhood, Books, Toys, and Games from the Opie collection. And it's like the most amazing book. It talks about like different fairy tales and toys, kind of breaks them down. I'm excited to go through page by page and look at it more. And I knew that my aunt would also really like this as well because she likes special things like this. It's like a coffee table book. One of the coolest aspects was it still has almost like the receipt from the person who purchased it. It says, here is your review copy of The Treasures of Childhood. So I don't know if this person was supposed to review the book for them or something, but the publication date was April 1990 and it cost $40 then, which seems like a lot for a book in 1990. And then if after December 31st, $45. And it says, please send us 2 copies of your review. So I thought that was really special and cool. I'm excited about it. And then I also found this little book for my niece, Once Upon a Unicorn Horn, and it seems like it comes out of the UK. It was $6.99 in the UK, and it says, do you know how unicorns got their horns? It's just really sweet, and there's no writing in it except they used the stickers, so I'm just going to pull out that page in the back. But she loves like unicorns and princesses, so I'm excited to give this to her. And then I got a couple of clothing items. The books were 99 cents, I'm assuming, for the kids, and then $2.99 for the other one. So such a good deal. I found this shirt, which I instantly fell in love with. It reminds me of, what's the brand? They sell it at Nordstrom, Farm Rio. It reminds me of something from Farm Rio. And another thing that's cool about this is it has like the receipt or something from when the person bought it. They purchased it in Brazil, and it has a QR code, which I looked up, which is like some sort of a clothing app in Brazil. But I thought that was super cool too. And this means like Brazilian nature, I believe, when I looked it up. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna wash it today. I found this Madewell sweatshirt, and it's in really good shape. Size medium, which is perfect because I love this stuff oversized, and 100% cotton, which you know I love. I think it'll be super nice and cozy for the fall, and I was able to find this online still. It's sold out, but it was like $90 regularly, and I paid $5.49. So that's a score. And then the last item is also Madewell. I found these Madewell jeans. And they're a nice kind of like straight leg, not skinny. They've got a little bit of space to them. Size 25. I've never owned a pair of Madewell jeans, never even tried a pair on before. They didn't have fitting rooms, but I just went for it. They're a tiny bit big just in the waist, but they're comfortable, and I guess that's the style now anyway. They're the Road Tripper Slim Boy jeans. So I am excited to get these washed up too to wear also. They feel like kind of that perfect denim that's been worn in and is like nice and comfy, but still has some more life to live. So that is my little thrift haul. It's always fun when you go and find some treasures. Like I said, I'm really excited to look through that book and see kind of what all is in there. It's just super cool. I love like vintage antique things, and it's fun to see kind of the toys and the stories and stuff that kids were reading back in the day. So, oh, and then the jeans were $7.49. So overall I paid $19.20 for all of those items, which I think is a pretty good deal. I was excited about it. All right, we are headed to go grocery shopping. We're going to make a spaghetti squash pasta. So like I'm gonna make a bolognese and serve it over spaghetti squash for one dinner, and then a one pot chicken, veggies, and rice for another dinner this week. Sitting here waiting for Sam. He just ran in to get our pizza. We have been like running errands and cleaning the house all day, trying to repair our linen cabinet. It's just been a really long day, and I am dealing with a lot of cramps. I'm just absolutely exhausted. So he is getting our pizza and meatballs now. If you are in the Medford, Somerville area, For Pizza has some really good pizzas. It's like a thin crust, which I love. So that's what we're doing for dinner tonight. It's like 5:30 now. I'm gonna have a little bit of an earlier dinner. Probably pick up on our Love Island. That's what we've been watching, is Love Island USA. We're not caught up because we started watching it late. But there is so much drama and so much fighting, unfortunately, as compared to Love Island Australia or Love Island UK. We've watched so many seasons of UK and Australia, and we've never seen as much fighting as there is. We've even watched other seasons of US, but yeah, a lot of like arguing between everyone. But anyway, we've been soaking up that trash TV. Good morning. I considered for a minute not filming here because I was like, I've been filming in this spot so often, it's probably really boring. And then I realized that this is just the reality of my life. I am at my computer once again. It is almost 9 a.m. I just put on a tiny bit of makeup, tried to make myself feel a little bit more put together today. Something about working from home frequently, if you work from home, then you probably know what I'm talking about, is that sometimes you can get into a little bit of a rut, and I've always been a big proponent of just taking the littlest bit of time for yourself in the morning, help yourself feel just a little bit more put together and motivated throughout the day. So that's what I did today, and I'm already feeling like I'm in a little bit of higher spirits. Data collection for experiment 3 of my dissertation continues. We have some extra screening measures for this experiment based on language requirements that we didn't for the previous ones. Because of that, I've had to screen out more participants than I initially anticipated from one of the conditions, and so I realized that our numbers across the 2 conditions are not close to equal. So I have made adjustments to my experiment tree on Gorilla so that we will only collect data from the condition that we are low on. I went ahead and submitted a problem ticket or whatever it's called, request ticket, help ticket, yesterday to Gorilla. They got back to me this morning, so that was really nice. And it made me think that if I have learned anything throughout my PhD, it's that I can't know how to do everything, and rather than just being stubborn and insistent on figuring things out myself, sometimes if I know that there is an expert that I can easily reach out to and ask for help, it's best to just do that. It can save me a lot of time in English. So if you are finding yourself, whether you're a PhD student or just in your work, struggling to ask for help at times, give it a try. You never know, you could end up falling in love with the experience of asking and receiving help from others. I also think that sometimes it's nice to give others the opportunity to provide us with help and insight too. I can remind them that they are useful, and don't we all need those little reminders in our lives that we mean something to someone else? I am going to actually work a little bit on a fellowship application. There's a fellowship I found that I want to apply for, and I'm meeting with my advisor tomorrow. So I would like to work on those materials today. I'm also reviewing a statement of purpose for a student. If you didn't know, I do a little bit of consulting on the side where I help review application materials and writing materials for students. I also help with presentation development. So if you're interested in any of those things, the link is always down in the description section. All right, enough of all that. I am going to pull up the materials to apply for this fellowship, and I will likely check back in a bit. I think we might be getting a thunderstorm here today at some point. So it is now dark, but it's only 12:30. I finally got a light bulb for this lamp. I can see that it's not really focusing well, but it's a little bit better. Not really. I got this little mini lamp at Target months and months ago, but I never got a light bulb to put in it, and we finally got one over the weekend. The fellowship application situation. I just spent quite a bit of time tailoring my resume just slightly. I didn't have to make too many modifications for it because this role I feel like really is sort of a natural fit for me. I tailored my resume slightly, wrote my cover letter, which took the most amount of time. As you can probably tell, I'm a bit tired from that entire process. Just got those materials sent off to one of my advisors to review. She has been very supportive of me pursuing whatever it may be, industry positions, academia positions, postdocs. So I'm thankful to have her and her support to read over these materials for me. Unfortunately, there's this like little voice inside of my head that is concerned that this fellowship is no longer open, but there was no deadline listed. They just posted about it on LinkedIn about a week ago, and there wasn't many interactions with their post, so I'm hopeful that it's still open. It's just when I Google it broadly, some of the links I feel like aren't taking me to it anymore, but I'm still able to access it, and it seems like I can still submit. So if you know, you know, these postdocs, especially ones that seem to bridge industry and academia, they come and go like that. And yeah. I have another one that I am planning to apply to that I've kind of been sitting on for at least a month now, if not longer. And I think I should be able to easily modify these materials just a little bit to submit to that one. So I am hopeful to get on that in the next week also, and kind of just like get those in, see what happens from there. I'm just doing my best not to be discouraged. I'm remaining hopeful and telling myself that the right opportunity is out there for me. I just have to find it. I know that God has a plan, and so not receiving responses from jobs or fellowships is really valuable feedback as well. I have continued to improve my materials, like my resume, my cover letters, and then it has also helped me to kind of hone in on exactly what type of position I do want and what industry I would love to be in. I follow someone on Instagram. She is a professor, I think at NYU. I think her name is Susie. Let's see, what is it? Susie Welch. NYU Stern professor, best-selling author. She makes a lot of videos and does research on sort of like values and kind of creating the life that you love, living your truest self, all of these types of things. And it's all science-backed, research-based. She's made some videos about not having a ton of different versions of your resume, but just really honing in and figuring out what your true values and skills are and then emphasizing those. Obviously, for some of us who have kind of had a little bit of a more diverse background in research, we have kind of the luxury of being able to emphasize some experiences over the others, depending on the type of industry we're applying for. But I think ultimately her message is a good one, and one that I've been trying to embrace a little bit more as I go through different iterations and versions, trying to optimize my resume and cover letter and things like that. So thought I would share a little bit of that with you. Hopefully this hasn't been blurring in and out like crazy. I did pick up a ring light. I got sick of hearing myself talk about the lighting, and so I did over the weekend pick up a really inexpensive ring light on Amazon. I just don't have that set up right now, but eventually I will get that set up and we will see if maybe that helps a little bit with the blurring. No promises. Lunch is made. I'm going to stand here and eat it. I just try to stand as much as I possibly can throughout the day because I know that I'm sitting a lot for work as well. Although I will say the standing desk has been very nice lately. I'm going to eat my lunch and then I'm going to do my Pique adaptogenic coffee alternative today. I don't know if I've spoken about this on here yet, but I have been trying it out for about a month now, and it is perfect for those days when you are exhausted and you need that real extra boost. I'll put some clips in here so you can see how I make it. It's a very simple process. Also, if you're someone who's trying to stop drinking coffee, but you feel like teas just won't do it for you, I highly recommend trying this out because I feel like it definitely gives me more of a boost than my tea. I have not drank coffee for going on 2 years now, I want to say. This definitely gives me that feeling like I'm having a coffee. It tastes somewhat like a dirty chai, if you've ever had that, which is like a chai tea with a splash of coffee basically. That is definitely on my agenda after this salad. I love to pour it over ice. I feel like it's very yummy that way, especially in the summer. And then I know in the fall and winter, the cooler months, it's gonna be super cozy to have it hot. This video got long a lot sooner than I anticipated it to, so I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that if you are in the process of applying to fellowships and jobs, you feel a little bit less alone hearing that it is challenging, it is exhausting, but we can do it, and everything is going to work out as it should. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. And here we have my very trusty research assistant for the day. She takes her job quite seriously.